Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in the previous session we have discussed about some basic things regarding chemistry. We studied why, where, right? So we considered definition of a chemistry. Further we considered why, where is chemistry. Then why we have to study the chemistry. That is I discussed about application part of a chemistry. Well, in the various field, chemistry has its own application so that it is necessary to understand chemistry. Well, in this session, we are going to discuss about next some other concept like say we are going to discuss about atoms, elements, compounds and molecules. Well, so the purpose of this session we are going to discuss about so what are those? I am going to discuss regarding atoms, molecules, elements and compounds. So in the previous session as I mentioned matter, right? This entire universe is made up of matter and further we defined it. What is matter means? So anything which has a mass and occupies space is called matter. So the entire universe consists of matter as well as energy and study of matter is called chemistry. So we said matter is studied, that is the properties of a matter, composition of a matter, okay, characteristics of a matter and transformation of a matter is studied under the title chemistry. Well, when I think of matter, as you said, matter means is going to take up space and going to have certain mass. Such objects are named as a matter. Well, when I consider matter, yes, we have matter exists in various forms, right? Whatever the things we look around, each and everything can be said as a matter itself. But if we start dividing it, matter into smaller and smaller particles, we are going to end up with a new type of particles. They are considered as atoms, molecules, elements, and compounds. Means these are a type of matter itself, different form of a matter. Matter exists in the form of atoms. It exists in the form of molecules. It also exists in the form of elements as well as compounds. Well, in this session, I'm going to deal about these things. I'm going to brief out regarding atoms, molecules, elements, and compounds. Well, coming to the first one, atoms. What it is? Say, when I say atom, basically, this atom concept of atom was began by John Dalton in the year 1803. Okay, John Dalton, a scientist, he began the discussion of a concept called atom by proposing a theory called Dalton's atomic theory. Okay, so this word atom basically derived from a Greek word atomios, which means non-divisible. Okay, say thereafter, soon after discovering subatomic particles, okay, soon after discovering subatomic particles, what we call electrons, protons and neutrons, Dalton proposed a theory called atomic theory. So according to that theory, what it says, each and every matter going to consist of smallest non-divisible particles. They are called atoms. So what is atom means is the simplest form of a matter, or I can say the smallest non-divisible particle exists in a matter is considered as a atom. So according to Dalton, what he said, atoms are non-divisible in nature. So I can say here, say atom is the basic unit of matter. Okay. Well, where it is present, it is present in each and every matter, or I can say each and every matter consists of large number of atoms. Okay, so we therefore we say atom is the basic unit of matter. Okay, every matter consists of a atom. Therefore, we are using word, it is a basic unit of matter that consists of nucleus surrounded by electrons. So each and every atom, they are going to have a nucleus at the center. Further, that nucleus is get surrounded by a negatively charged particles called electrons. Well, what is atom means? We say atom is the basic unit of matter. Further, that consists of nucleus surrounded by electrons. Okay. Well, and regarding existence, whether atom exists in its free state or not, the answer is no. Atom do not exist in free state. Rather, it always exists in a combined state. Well, there is an exception. So when you look at the periodic table, except noble gases, group 18 elements are we call inert gases, rare gases, or even they are called noble gases. Except noble gases, atoms of other elements do not exist in a free state. But how they exist? They exist in a combined state. So what is to be remembered here? Well, regarding existence of an atom, say atom do not exist independently. It do not exist in a free state. Rather, it exists in a combined state. What is the exception here? Except noble gases. Okay, noble gases in the sense group 18 elements. They are also called inert gases, or they are even called rare gases. So, well, if I consider atom, what it would be? There will be a nucleus, and that nucleus is surrounded by electrons. So, diagrammatically, I can see here at the center, okay, at the center, nucleus is present, and this nucleus is surrounded by electrons. Well, nucleus has its own spin, nuclear spin. Further, what about electrons? Yes, electrons are also going to revolve around the nucleus. So, there will be electron spin. Okay, well, basically if I consider atom, yes, atom is the basic unit of a matter. Okay, what it consists of? It consists of nucleus at the center and gets surrounded by electrons. Okay, well, now if I consider atoms, as I said, atoms, each and every atom composed of nucleus, and further what we said, one or more electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Regarding atoms, what is to be remembered here? So every atom composed of nucleus and one or more electrons, there may be one electron or more than one electrons are, okay, revolving around the nucleus. Next, say nucleus is present at the center, which consists of a positively charged particle. What are named? They are named as a protons, and negatively charged particles are present, or I can say they are revolving around the nucleus. Say overall, if I want to represent an atom, say atom at the center, there will be a nucleus which contains positively charged particles. What is the name? They are called protons, and electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So I can say here the nucleus is made up of one or more protons, and one more particle I am showing here. So there is no any charge, means neutral particles. The one which is shown positive sign indicates the positively charged particle, but one more particle I am showing, there is no any charge, which means it indicates the neutral charge, right? Say the nucleus is made up of one or more protons and typically similar number of neutrons, right? So where is proton present? Proton is present at the center. And what about electrons? Electrons are revolving around the nucleus, right? Then if I consider positively charged particle, what are called? They are called protons. And I said a neutrally charged particle, what it is? It is called neutrons. So overall, if I consider an atom, how many fundamental particles present there? Yes, basically three fundamental particles present in each and every atom. What are those? Protons, neutrons, and one more, electrons. Regarding existence, where protons exist? In the nucleus. Neutrons, yes, in the nucleus. What about electrons? Yes, electrons are revolving around the nucleus. These three fundamental particles constitute a atom. So atom is the basic unit of matter, consists of nucleus. What is present in the nucleus? protons and neutrons present in the nucleus, and electrons are revolving around the nucleus. And what is the exception for the here? Yes, all atoms contains neutrons. What is the exception? None in hydrogen 1. In the sense, if I consider hydrogen 1 isotope, there will be only one proton and one electron, but there is no neutron. Okay, it is to be remembered. In hydrogen 1 isotope 1H1, there is no neutrons. There is only one proton present and one electron present, but there is no neutrons. Okay. Well, further, when I think of nucleus, nucleus, this nucleus consists of protons and neutrons, right? The nucleus is made up of two components or two fundamental particles. What are those? Proton and neutron. So these protons and neutrons together called nucleons. Okay, what is said? Protons and neutrons are collectively called nucleons, as both constitute the nucleus of an atom. Hence, they are named as a nucleons. Okay. Well, then regarding mass, say proton and neutrons both are concentrated at the center of an atom, but electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Okay. So when I compare, if I compare the masses here, okay, by with the help of charge to mass ratio experimentation, say one could get the masses of a proton, neutron as well as electrons. So when I compare, just remember, if you compare mass of one proton with mass of one electron, okay, what we are comparing? We are comparing the masses of one proton with the mass of one electron. So mass of one proton is around 1837 times, 1837 times heavier than that of electron. Means if I consider mass of one proton and one electron, mass of proton is how many times more? And 1837 times. Okay, 1837 times more compared to electron. Which means when I think of mass of an atom, where it is? Mass of an atom is get concentrated at the center itself. Okay, therefore what we say, over 99.94%, okay, 99.94% of the atom's mass is in the nucleus. As mass of proton is very large, and even neutrons, its mass is also very large. Therefore what we are saying, the mass of an atom is concentrated at the center, or in another words, what we can say, over 99.94% of the atom's mass is in the nucleus itself. Rest of the mass is present in the form of an electron cloud. Okay. Well, and regarding charges concerned, what about protons? Protons are positively charged particles. Okay. And what about electrons? Electrons are negatively charged particles. And what about neutrons? Neutrons are neutrally charged particles. Or I can say there is no charge present on the neutrons. So regarding charges concerned, yes, protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged, and neutrons are neutrally charged, or I can say no charge present on the neutrons. Well, as we considered, atom consists of three fundamental particles. What are those? Protons, neutrons, and electrons. Regarding their distribution, protons and neutrons present in the nucleus, they are collectively called nucleons, while electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Right? Well, now if I consider charges present over the particle, what we said, protons are positively charged, neutrons are neutrally charged, and electrons are negatively charged one. Then, as atom consists of oppositely charged particles, then there might be a attractive or I can say repulsive forces. If I consider, okay, forces operating among the like charged particles, usually what happens? There will be repulsion among the like charged particles. Protons, they repel from one another. As like electrons, they also repel from one another. But what about protons and electrons? Yes, because of unlike charge, they will be attracted with one another. In the sense, yes, there is a force exists among these particles. What are the possible forces? Yes, that force may be nuclear force or even electromagnetic forces of attraction. So here what I am quoting is the electrons of an atom are attracted to the protons as because of unlike charge. Electrons negatively charged, protons positively charged. Therefore, what we say, electrons of an atom are attracted to the protons in an atom. Okay, protons in an atom by which force? Electromagnetic force. Okay, say here electrons negatively charged, protons positively charged. Because of that, there involves a attraction between those oppositely charged particles. So like charges they repel from one another, and unlike charges they attracted. So positive they repel, negative particles they also repel from one another. But what happens? Negatively and positively charged particles they attract from one another. What is the force acting for attraction? It is the electromagnetic force. So what I am saying here, the electrons of an atom are attracted to the protons in the atomic nucleus by electromagnetic force. And for the, well, how these like charged particles are repelling and unlike charged particles are attracting from one another. In this diagram what you can visualize, so like charges, proton they are repelling. Here also electrons they are repelling, but electron and proton they are attracting, which indicates that what we can say. So according to the concept, like charges repel each other while unlike charges attract each other. In the sense, the electrons in an atom are attracted to the protons present in the nucleus. And what is the force acting here? The force that holds the electrons around the nucleus is called electromagnetic force. So which force is acting? It is the electromagnetic force. What that force will do? It holds the electron around the nucleus in a fixed position, right? So I can say here what is electromagnetic force means the force that holds the electron around the nucleus, okay, is called electromagnetic force. So means if I consider the distribution, protons and neutrons present in the nucleus and electrons are revolving. How these electrons are held at a fixed position means it is because of force acting. What is that force called? Electromagnetic force. Okay. Well, then if I consider protons and neutrons, yes, both are present in the nucleus. Well, these protons and neutrons are also attracted to each other. Protons and neutrons, they exist together within the nucleus. In the sense, there must be an attractive force. That attractive force is called nuclear force. So I can say protons and neutrons in the nucleus are attracted to each other by a force called nuclear force. And further what I can say, this nuclear force is usually greater than, or I can say stronger than electromagnetic force of repelling the positive charged particles. So as I said, like charges, all protons present in the nucleus itself means there will be electromagnetic force by which proton they repel from one another. So among the protons, okay, there will be a repulsive force. Electromagnetic repulsive force exists, but what is the one more force acting there? Nuclear force. When I compare the magnitude of these, the nuclear force is very greater than the electromagnetic force repelling the positively charged protons from one another. Therefore, that is what protons exist together. Okay, one could get the doubt here, why protons, even though they are like charged one, but they exist within the nucleus, means there is one more force acting called a nuclear force. Okay, is the attractive force. So this nuclear force is very greater than electromagnetic force of repelling the positively charged particle from one another. Therefore, protons exist together within the nucleus. Okay, well, so these are the two forces exist within a atom, or I can say among the fundamental particles. One is the electromagnetic force, second one is nuclear force. Well, I hope it is clear for you. So regarding atoms, what I said, atom is the basic unit of a matter. Okay, it consists of nucleus and surrounded by electrons. And regarding fundamental particles, I said each and every atom consists of three fundamental particles: electron, proton and neutrons. And regarding charges, what we said, electrons are negatively charged, protons are positively charged and neutrons are neutrally charged. And further we said regarding nucleons, what is nucleon? Protons and neutrons, collectively called nucleons. Okay, and regarding how their distribution, as I said, electrons are revolving around the nucleus while protons and neutrons present within the nucleus of an atom. And forces operating among them is, one is the electromagnetic force and second one is nuclear force. Because of electromagnetic force, electrons are held by the nucleus, and further in the nucleus there will be nuclear force. Because of high nuclear force, all protons exist within the nucleus itself. Okay, well, I hope it is clear. Then in the next session I will continue the next concept. Okay, well, thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Like,
Comments
share,
and
subscribe.